Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Reality, spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one now. Spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Reality, spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Spirituality. Oh, now we get real. Yeah, it's time to get down. Yeah, you gonna feel good now. Real good. That's what I'm talking about. Time to get real.
Time to get real, and she's back. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. I'm your host, Rebecca Lynn Norrington, and yes, I took a couple of weeks off for arthroscopic hip surgery, which I had last Friday, October the 3rd. But before I get into the whole show and the whole story, I just want to say thank you, listeners, for contacting me via Facebook, via emails, Twitter. Rebecca, where are you? Listening to on the show. And you know what? I really appreciate that. I feel, it just makes me feel like what I'm sharing is resonating. You know, I don't pretend to have all the answers, but I just want to share what's going on in my life, and maybe that resonates with you, or maybe you, my dear audience, can take what I've said and twist it to fit you in your life. See, we're all unique. We all are as different as our fingerprints on the outside, but inside we are the same. But we all have different perspectives, where we grew up, our family, environments, culture, countries. So I am just sharing a little small part of myself that hopefully you can take and use in your life. And what am I sharing? Good question. Thank you for asking. Reality Spirituality, this show is about our everyday life and how every moment there is a link, there is a connection to the universe, there is a connection to spirituality, there is a connection to how we feel and why we're feeling the way we're feeling. I have a few people in the queue, and I'm going to get to you, I promise. I'm going to answer all phone calls. In fact, everyone is welcome to call me live at area code 646-564-9619, area code 646-564-9619. Woo! Again, the show is about real life. And I had surgery last Friday. And quite frankly, doing really, really well. It was hip arthroscopy, not a hip replacement. It's actually, they go in with a scope and they clean up, damaged ligaments and tendons and all that. And it just happened that I needed some ligament repair. I have been teaching aerobics for almost 32, 33 years now. And for the first 25 of those years, it was boot camp. And then after I've had my 2 knee arthroscopies, I couldn't do the high-impact classes, so I was teaching spinning or cycling. And lo and behold, as the universe would have it, the way I taught class was brutal. I mean, I don't know how many people are out there and taking a class, but I teach it standing up the whole, probably 90% of the time standing up, which is really hard to do. That's just my nature. That's just who I am. And because of that, I believe I can feel it. The last 6 years, 2011, the last 5 years, teaching like that, I have really worn down. In fact, one of the things that my surgeon told didn't tell me, but told my family when he came out was her joints on the left side are all worn down. Now, I'm going to my doctor on Friday. I'm going to get a full report. But this is my story. This is my story. The surgery went fine. I had supposedly the best doctor, the best hip doctor at the hospital, and in fact in this medical group that the universe just blesses me with really basically taking me to the best people. That was no issue. My lessons came, my struggles came from recovering in the hospital. And when I woke up on Friday, it was supposed to be an in and out, inpatient, outpatient procedure. Well, I woke up in so much pain, and believe me, any of you out there that have had a child, have gone through labor, you know what excruciating pain feels like. I'm not even saying it was that bad, but it was very, very painful. And even though I'm a happiness specialist, I am not one to suffer. I am not one to be in pain without raising my hand up. Hey, where the hell are those pain meds? And so that's exactly what happened. I woke up in a lot of pain, and then to get my pain under control, they actually gave me morphine, which was great, but for me, the morphine also caused nausea, but whatever. So I have to check into the hospital. It's the same night, Friday night, checking in. Now, I was hooked up to, I had an IV. I had an ice machine, if you can believe it. Nowadays, they don't give you ice packs. There's an ice machine that actually is plugged into the wall, and it circulates ice to the region where you need it. All new and modern. I think the last time I was in the hospital was 1996, and that's a long time ago. So a lot of things have changed. And I was at a really nice, well-known, prestigious hospital in Pasadena. In fact, I've been there before to have my son, had another surgery. Great hospital. I was really looking forward to staying in the hospital, catch up on some rest. Well, what I got, what I expected, and what I got could not have been more different. The hospital that I knew, the hospital that I was familiar with, it seemed like it just changed overnight as far as the help, as far as the attentiveness. Listen, I got my hand up in the air right now, and the service, the nurse service, what is the nurse service, was, hold on, let me use a label, was the worst ever. And let me give you some examples, because I actually I was almost in tears. I was in tears a few times, and this is some of the reasons why. First of all, I'm in a lot of pain, and I'm asking for pain meds, as soon as the other ones wear out. And when I was now I'm talking about Friday night after the surgery, who knows, 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, I'm up tossing and turning and very, very uncomfortable. And I don't need a lot of compassion, but I definitely need drugs, and I definitely need someone to attend to that, and I need everything that the hospital is quote unquote supposed to should offer. I buzz the nurse and I say, yes, I'm in pain. When can I have my next pain injection? I'm a little nauseated. Oh, that's very common. Morphine, yeah, that has a history of making patients nauseated. I said, oh, okay, so what does that mean? And I said, is there anything I can take for nausea? And this was the question. before I go on, the people that have been listening to me, you all know that questions, quote unquote, stupid questions, really take me to another level. questions that are obvious really just, I don't know why, but it just bothers the hell out of me. And the question was, as I'm in the hospital bed, hooked up to an ice machine, hooked up to an IV, nauseated from the pain, was, would you like something for nausea? Yes, I would. The second thing, and it went on all night. I got something to eat, and I swear to you, I don't know if you've ever had surgery, but after you come out of surgery, and I had to write all these things down because I'm really not one to look back and remember, oh, let's see, this happened and that happened, and I really can't vividly recall because I'm really so into today and the moment and what's happening now. I had to write all of this stuff down because I knew I would forget everything that bothered me and annoyed me and everything that subtracted from my happiness in that damn hospital. And so one of the things was when I woke up, I was dying of thirst. I was, I hadn't eaten for 24 hours, thirsty, not so much hungry. I was given a pitcher of ice. I was given a pitcher of water. I was given a pitcher. I was given a cup and a straw. And guess what? All of it was placed without, I couldn't reach it. I mean, even if I sat up in the bed, when I reached my hand out as far as I could not reach the pitcher of water. I could not reach the ice. I could not reach my cup. That was empty. So I had to buzz the nurse again. And now I'm now I'm really kind of reverting into who I used to be. As opposed to this happiness specialist. I buzzed the nurse. In fact, that's the title of the speech. How many times can I buzz the nurse in an hour? Buzz the nurse. And this was my question. Can you please put the tray and can you put the ice water so that I can reach it? Now, which she did. Okay, and let's visualize baseball, strike one, strike two, strike three, until I until I blow up, until I explode, until I burst out of my skin. So we're already at strike one. Now, a couple hours later, the nurse comes in, and this is the overnight nurse, which what I've heard is the overnight people aren't as savvy or aren't as capable as the day nurses. I don't know, but listen, I would vote for that. And what happened was I was feeling, just still a little nauseated, and what was starting to happen was my IV was bothering me. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't like IVs. It's the one thing that just EBGBs. And I was telling the nurse, is there anything you can do? If I buzzed her again, is there anything that you can do? Can you, numb the area, put some cold, whatever? Can you do something? She says, oh, no, I can't do that. She says, but what I can do is start a new IV for you. Deep breath, take a deep breath, start a new IV. I would rather poke myself with an ice pick in the eye than start a new IV. I said, oh, no, thank you. Now, meantime, my dear audience, I was really getting warm. When you get a little angry, you get a little annoyed, you start boiling, you come from your feet, you start boiling and boiling and boiling. Well, I was warm, almost boiling. And then the next thing happens, which is probably about an hour later. An hour later, And I'm actually looking in the chat room just to see, okay, everyone is logged in and everybody is logged out, which is really cool. About an hour later, the nurse comes in. She says, if you don't use the bathroom in half hour, 20 minutes, we're going to have to put a catheter in. Okay, so now I'm under the gun, and now I have to use the bathroom, which means I have to get up. Okay, I get up, out of bed. I've got crutches. Now, along with all of this happening, filling up the ice machine, having for me to call the nurse to fill up the ice machine, guess what happened? When I sit up in bed, I have my 2 crutches. I can't feel anything in my left leg, so I really need my crutches. The crutch on the left side slips from there's water on the floor. There's water that is spilled on the floor from the ice machine that is hooked up to my left hip. Now, the machine, it wasn't overflowing. It was her adding the ice back and forth, and there was water. And I almost slipped. Now I was really boiling. And I'm going to speed this up because I really want to get to my audience. So now I'm boiling, and I've got to get to the toilet, which is right in the middle of the room, one of those portable toilets where they roll in. And I'm barely standing up on the crutches after the nurse gets and cleans the floor from the water, from the ice that she spilled. And I'm barely standing with the crutches. And I'm moving maybe a half an inch at a time to turn my rear end around so that I can sit on this portable toilet that's in the middle of the room, or close to my bed, I should say. I'm standing up, I'm inching, I'm turning around, slow, pain, turn, slow, nauseated, turn, slow, almost slipped on the ice, don't have water, put my hand out, where's the water, can't reach the water, slow, all of this. And I look behind me to see where this chair is, this portable potty is. And the nurse is behind the chair because she's steadying it. She's holding it. She's making it steady. And I look behind, and it's probably about a foot away from me, okay? Mind you, my turn, slow, look back. Where is it? She says to me, you're almost there. Take another few steps backwards. And I think that's when I lost it, audience, even though I was losing it before. She said, take a few steps backwards. And I said, why don't you push it closer to me? This and other instances all night long. In the morning, probably 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, I felt like I wanted to, I swear to God, call 911, and I was in the hospital. I was sitting up in my bed after, there's other things that happen. I don't even want to go into everything, but 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, I was in tears because of the service, because of all the things that had happened, and I could not find my connection with the universe. I was reverting back to this person that was miserable, that used to be miserable for so long, and because of things that happened. And I cried out. I don't know if you've ever seen Castaway, but you know at the end of the movie where he's on the raft and he's, almost dead, and he sees this big Russian ship go by, and he has his hand up, hand up, barely speak. That was me on the bed. I had my hand up like, what are you doing to me, universe? Can you please help me out with this? Can you please help me out? I lost it. I was going to call 911, and I was in the hospital. And then, but I couldn't reach the phone, my own phone in my own room. By the way, I couldn't reach it. I had the tray of food, of water, of ice that had melted, of an empty cup. I was going to pick up the tray and toss it across the room. And then I got a phone call. I got a phone call from a dear, dear, dear friend. And if she hadn't called me in that moment, the tray would have been across the room. I would have called 911. I don't know what was going on. I was so livid. I was so, quote, angry. I was so annoyed. And then the universe gave me my lesson. And crazy as it sounds, I received this message, and I received these words from the universe that morning before the surgery. And these are what I heard, and this is what the universe told me. Do not focus, do not pay attention to what it looks like. Do not pay attention to how you feel. Pay no attention to your thoughts. Know that everything is in order. Know what reality is. Know that you are having an experience that you are supposed to be having, supposed to be experiencing, and don't resist. That whole night, the reason why I felt as crappy as I did and as angry as I did, even though I could have blamed it on the nurse, I could have blamed it on my pain, I could have blamed it on the hospital service, I could have blamed it on the food, I could have blamed it on the water on the floor in a freaking hospital room. I could have blamed it on all of that. It's never about any of those things. The truth is, it's about what's going on inside of me. What's going on? It was my turmoil. It was my internal turmoil. It was my internal struggle. It was my internal tornado, if you will. And this is the key, my dear audience. This is the key. Not only was I looking out and paying attention to what it looked like and how it felt and my thoughts about it, but I was taking this circumstance, I was taking these moments, I was taking the whole experience. You ready for this word? Because this is really, really important. I was taking this whole experience very seriously. I was serious about all of it. Why? Because it was serious. That whole experience was really serious. And the more serious I felt it was, the worse I felt. Pay no attention to what it looks like. Pay no attention to how it feels. Pay no attention to your thoughts. Know the truth. Know who you are. Experience it without resistance, without expectations, without judgments. Easy to do? Hell no. But if you want, there's two ways of feeling. You can feel like crap, or you can feel connected. And I'm telling you, on that night, I felt like crap. I felt like the old Rebecca, the old person. I was getting ready to throw a tray. I had the tray. I was ready. And then the universe, there was a phone call. Whew, we are going to go to my callers. That's my story. That's my entire story about post-operative recovery. And so now I have a nice chapter for my next book. And believe me, it's really funny now. But I wasn't laughing then, and I wasn't laughing leaving, and I wasn't I mean, there's even more things. You know, when I'm getting wheeled out of the hospital, they wheel me to the wrong exit. You know, it was just a cluster of incidences that I was really entwined and just invested in to feel bad about. And I was stuck. I was lost in an internal loop of bad feelings. But let me go to my callers. I digress. My callers, I want to thank you for holding on. I have a few people in the queue. And before I go to my callers, I just want to share with my new listeners, you can find me at RebeccaNorrington.com, RebeccaNorrington.com. Follow me on Twitter at RLNorrington. Go to Facebook and like Reality Spirituality's Facebook page. I am live every Saturday and Sunday to answer your questions. Ask Rebecca anything every Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. My first caller, area code 702 in the state of Nevada. Why do I know that? Because that's where my mommy lives. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. What is your first name?
My first name is Craig.
Hi, Craig. Thank you for holding on for so long. Did you get anything out of that story, or were you just like, oh, God, hurry up with the story, Rebecca?
Oh, no, I've been in situations like that where I was reverting back to some previous habits that I thought that were, gone from me, but ended up coming back. It's just old feelings, temper tantrums and whatnot that occurred this summer. So
yeah. You know what? It's Craig, right? Craig with a C?
Yes.
You know what's funny? You just made a chuckle at the end. In other words, you can look back and now it's funny.
Mm-hmm. But it wasn't then.
Listen, you don't have to tell me, but this is the big thing. This is the big thing. How fast can we recover? How fast can we take ourselves out of that? And I say that 5 years ago I would have been upset about it for who knows how long, and now, I mean, I can barely remember it. I can barely remember, and it's only been a week. But please, enough about me. What's going on in your life, Craig?
Well, I met an interesting young lady through an interesting circumstance.
Okay.
Last week it was at my sister's wedding in Michigan. I was sitting down waiting for the wedding to get started, and I went on Facebook, and my best friend had just graduated from college. And I wished her congratulations, and the young lady that followed and saying congratulations caught my attention. I was like, oh, my gosh, this woman is beautiful.
Gorgeous.
She's gorgeous. And this is kind of a woman that I kind of like apply law of attraction for, because she has all my eyes, what I worked down in my vision. She had basically the physical features I desired. And so I was like, okay. I talked to her. We're getting to know each other. We've been talking, and I'm very intrigued what I've been finding out. And I just want to know, where do you see this going?
And when did you meet her again? How long has it been?
I said probably about a month now. It's been about a month.
And you want to go and you want to find out where it's going to go.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what's interesting? I don't know if you've listened to the show. Have you listened to the show before?
Yes, I have.
Okay, one of the things that I do not do is predict what's going to happen tomorrow. But I can definitely tell you and share with you what's going on right now in this moment and what I'm feeling.
Okay.
Okay? Is that good?
Oh, that's great.
Now, my question to you is, since how many times have you talked to her, had contact with her, or been in her presence since in a month?
Well, we haven't really been in each other's presence, but we've been talking consistently, say about, I'll say about like the last 4 weeks.
Okay, so you're not physically able to, I mean, you guys are in a location where you're not close?
No.
Okay, and what kind of questions are you asking her?
We're just getting to know each other,
Okay. Okay. And okay, so there's the question. So getting to know each other, and how do you get to know each other by, I mean, what do you want to know about her?
Well, I mean, I would just say that there's a lot of things that when you spend in a relationship that you want to discover about that significant other that will be, that will be significant for us. Maybe you make a decision, okay, do you see yourself with that person or not? And so basically my questions are being framed of, personality traits, what your passions, what you like to do, those kind of things. And just spending time on the phone and just having a good time, having a random conversation about whatever, So it's been, like, for the first 2 weeks it's been like that. Now just like, well, how's your day and when we're going to see each other, that kind of thing.
Okay, so you guys are just basically what I call, and just listen. If you know me and you know the show, I'm just going to hit you right between your eyes. You're just talking a lot of fluff, right? You're just getting to when you say getting to know each other. My definition of getting to know somebody has nothing to do with what they like, what they don't like, how's their day. You only know somebody. You only know somebody based on their challenges. You only know a person when they're challenged. It's very easy to have a disposition or to portray some, this who you are when everything is going fine. And let me say something. Listen. You're talking to a person, you're talking to a woman that's been around the block, okay? I've met people, yeah, I'm attracted to them, yeah, they're attracted to me, and there's a little dance, and it's actually fun, and it feels good, and it's very intriguing when you first meet somebody. It's very exciting. I'm not putting any of that stuff down. But if you are really interested, in getting to know somebody, then there are questions that you need to ask for that. But if you're just interested in having, just going along and not being too deep and being on the surface, then what you're doing is perfect. But if you really want to get to know somebody, you ask the questions like this. Let me give you a hint. You ready? And I don't know if you're with me, but you asked me the question. And this is, do you know anything about her past relationships?
Yep.
And why did they break up?
Because they did not fulfill her expectations.
They did not fulfill her expectations?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a strike one. There's no such thing as filling anybody's expectations. I mean, if you want a real relationship, there should be no expectations.
I disagree with that.
Well, there you go. There you go. And you know what, my dear? This is what I'm going to say because, see, listen, I love you. And when you really, really want something that is lasting, in other words, when you want something that is deep as opposed to just wanting to play, there's a big difference. Then you will ask the questions and you will know that an answer like fulfilling expectations is, if somebody said that to me, she didn't fill my expectation, I said, well, you're going to have expectations of me? And if the answer is yes, I'm out the door. So see, we just have different perspectives about what a relationship is. And I'm going to leave it at that. We just have different definitions, different perspectives. And I respect yours, and have fun.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okie dokie. That's the way it goes over here in Reality Spirituality. Yeah. You want to know the truth. You want to know what's real. You want to dance around and have some fun and go, back and forth. Go for it. You called the wrong show, honey. Okay, going to area code 832. You are live on Reality Spirituality. What is your first name and welcome?
Hi, this is Dejan.
What is your first name?
Dejan.
Dejan?
Yes.
Hi, Dejan. What's going on? Did you hear what I just said to Craig? What do you think?
I think that, you're on the right track with that, yeah.
Okay, Dejan. What's going on with you?
Well, right now I'm in college. I'm studying for actually majoring in film.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of wanted to give some advice on my love life.
Advice on your love life. Ooh, I love these questions. What advice do you want? You want to know if somebody's coming into your life, if you are going to meet someone. Is that what you want to know?
Yes.
And can I ask you this question?
Sure.
Why do you want to meet someone?
I don't know. I think because I have like this feeling of trying to meet someone. I'm not sure why.
You have a what?
A feeling of trying to meet someone. I'm not sure why.
Oh, you have a feeling. Okay. And how old are you? You said you're in college. Are you in your 20s or late teens?
I'm 18.
Oh, you're a baby. I mean that in a good way, too. Thank you so much for listening to Reality Spirituality. Well, let me say something to you, my dear 18-year-old, because I was 18 once, and I really, really, I'm feeling very, very grateful that you called, because I want to tell you something, and hopefully this will stick with you, okay? One of the reasons why when I was younger, I remember in high school, boyfriend in junior high, boyfriend in high school, I always want this boyfriend. I don't have a boyfriend. I want to meet somebody. And I'm saying that to say that I was not taught that I'm good or I'm okay or I'm enough by myself. Now, I'm not saying anything about not meeting anyone. I'm not saying that you don't need to meet anyone. I'm not doing a poo-poo on relationships. But what I am saying is I want you to have this energy. I want you to have these thoughts, these feelings, these perspectives that you are enough without anyone or without anything. You are enough. And when you really, really feel that and get that, things will start falling into place. One of the reasons why, I'm just going to give you a little personal thing here, relationships, the more connected you are, the more settled you are, the more, when I say connected, I mean connected to the universe. The more you are, the more you are going to attract. So know that it's kind of like taking something out of the oven before it's cooked. So you're really cooking right now. You're developing. You're cooking, and so. Whereas I appreciate and I respect that you're talking about a relationship, I also want to give you another perspective, that where you are right now by yourself, with yourself, is also perfect, is also where you need to be. Because this world, your life, is unfolding exactly the way it should. And if there's someone in your life, they need to be in your life. If there's somebody that's not in your life, that's exactly what you need at that time. And so the focus should really be, not should be, but the focus can be the person in the mirror and getting to the point where you can say, you know what? Start falling in love with who you are, appreciating you, accepting you, and just being okay, being alone and being with that person in the mirror. You are your best company. Does that make sense? I know I kind of went on for a while.
Yes, it does.
Do you feel a little, do you, you know what, this world, I'm sorry, but this world, this country, who I think is a great country, but everywhere you look, there's a couple, boyfriend, girlfriend, this song written about her, song written about him, Black Widow Spider, I'd catch a grenade for you, but you won't do it for me, all of that. Are you kidding me? What about a song that says, hey, I'm okay, me, myself, and I'm good, I like it, so you've got a lot of pressure, is what I'm saying. You're surrounded by this society of gotta hook up. If I'm alone, there's something wrong. Listen, I've been alone for such a long time. Now, yes, I have friends, but I am so okay with being by myself, and I never was before. But I'm just letting you know, there is an art, there's a great feeling, there is a reward for being okay, being good with being alone. Not that you're going to be there forever, but it's okay being alone. What do you think?
I think that you're right about that, yeah. I think it starts within before you actually get into a relationship with anyone. So, yeah, I think that really resonates with me a lot.
Yeah. And then listen. We're only experiencing what we were taught. And that is, and if you're in a relationship, now compromise. What is it? What is compromise and back and forth? And are you kidding me? Compromise? No, I'm not into it. What I'm saying is, I just want you to be okay, filled up, just sprout out there, be this bright star that you are, and think about relationship and other people. It'll happen. Focus on accepting you, Dejan, right?
Right.
Accepting and loving and just being okay with you. You skip through the tulips by yourself, honey, for a little bit and have some fun. That's what I'm doing. And call me anytime. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Keep listening. Thank you so much, Dejan. And see, listen, audience, that is a youngster. That is a youngster at 18 years old, and this brainwashing of having to be in a relationship to feel good or feel whole is rampant. Rampant. It's the norm. The movies, the songs, Romeo and Juliet. Listen, I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with that, but I want my audience to feel great by themselves, in and or without a relationship. Okay, I'm going to my next caller. Lots of great calls today. Hey, welcome everybody in the chat room. Hello, Mick. Hello, Tobian. Yes, thank you, chatty chat. Okay, next caller at area code 415. That's up north, San Francisco, Northern California. What's your first name?
Hi, this is Jessica.
Hi, Jessica. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. What's going on? Thank you for listening.
Thank you for your show. I like listening to it.
Yay. Did you get anything out of what my half-hour rant earlier about the hospital stay?
You know what? I like listening to it. I was listening to part of it, but when I hear like the things that keep going wrong, it's really hard. I had to walk away. It's really hard for me to listen to that stuff these days. I realized when I was, I realized a lot lately. When those things start coming up, I start cringing. Yeah, I can't hear it. I know you were. I wanted to hear your lesson.
Oh my goodness!
I couldn't listen to it. Yeah.
You know what's okay. Now everybody that knows, when I hear the truth, I get chills, and I'm all chilled up right now. I'm all chilled up because I can really relate to what you're saying. Oh my goodness. I mean, I'm not going to go on. I'm going to just share this really quick story. A couple of weeks ago, I was with my mother, and she was watching Dr. Phil, and there was a show on, and this man was yelling at his son. I mean, yelling and screaming and saying, "You have to call me yes, sir." And Jessica, I felt the same way. I couldn't listen, and I couldn't tell my mother, "Hey, Mom, I don't want to listen to that. Change the channel." I mean, I was in the kitchen cooking, and she was in the den, and it's just there's no wall between us. And I really couldn't hear it. It was bothering me so much. And then I just went into my room and got a radio and blasted the radio so I couldn't hear Dr. Phil with this horrible man and his son. So I totally understand what you're saying. There are certain things that I just can't hear. But keep going. Talk to me about you. That's enough about me. Go ahead.
Well, I wanted to get your take on this. I'm going to start working at this club/lounge environment, and I'm going to be giving psychic readings. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of things I could talk about this, because this is, there's a lot of things I could say. But the thing I want to focus on is that I worked out this deal with this guy, and he showed me this private room that I could work in upstairs. So it's going to be silent up there, because otherwise I can't help anybody. I'm going to be there in the earlier portion of the evening. And the idea is to get people in there earlier and, whatever, for him to get some business and for me to be there too. So I realized that I left this place and I had the expectation, hey, I'm going to be there early and I'm going to be working, giving readings nonstop from the minute I get in there. Mm-hmm. But then some time went by and it dawned on me that this guy needs to promote this. He needs to promote it right away, because we're doing it next weekend. He needs to promote it right away. When's he going to get on that? And if I'm doing, how are people going to know? Like, is he going to, it's all these like control things came up. Is he going to send out an email? Is he going to pre-book people? Like, how are people don't normally come to this place super early. So when they arrive, who's going to tell them that I'm there, that I'm doing readings? Am I going to have to go around to people if they're eating dinner and say, hey, do you want a psychic reading? Am I going to have to promote myself like that? Maybe I should make a sign that says, hey, readings tonight. And who are they supposed to schedule it with if I'm in a reading upstairs? And if I'm not in the room and they don't see me, then how are they even going to be interested in that if I'm away upstairs?
Right,
and it's brought up all these different things. And then because I also have a background in event planning, so I'm very used to being in control and planning these things. And I said, well, I don't want to go down there if I'm wasting my time. If this guy's not on the ball, and if I have too many meetings with him, I don't want to say anything else to him. He's going to make up a flyer for me, which I think is just an online flyer. So my thought was, well, if I have another talk with him, I'm going to start annoying him. So I don't want to ruin the deal, because I'm excited about being there. It's something different for me. In a familiar environment that I haven't been to in years. Now I'm bringing my gifts there, so that's kind of fun. So it was just all these thoughts, like if I go down and I don't make any money, I'm going to be pissed that I got dressed, I did my makeup, all this stuff.
Ooh, what
Yeah.
What, and I remember you called me before about a Facebook question, huh?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? Oh my God, chills again. You know what great questions. And see, this is what I love. This is my meat and potatoes, if you will. This is what I do, Jessica. Thank you for
I know. I get you. That's why I listen. It's really like I'm really gelling with it these days. I recently found you, and I was like, this is where it's at. These are my lessons.
This is where it's at. At least this is where it's at this moment. And oh my goodness, you get me. See, that's such a big deal. That's such a big deal because
I know.
Some people don't, but that's okay. You said so many great things. So let me try to remember. Hold on a second. Number one, this question about going to him and asking him if he's going to be annoyed with you. Are you kidding me? You ask him. You listen. Come on, honey. Listen. How are you going to promote this, or how do you plan on promoting this? I'd just like to know. And when you ask any question, when you're connected, when you're really in the universal, and you ask with love, and you ask with is there a way that you're going to promote this? Do you have a plan? I mean, you could ask anything and talk about anything depending on your energy. Now, you said something really important. You said if he gets annoyed, that's really you getting annoyed because you're really annoyed that he's not going to promote, you don't think he's going to promote it. So that annoyance is really you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I originally went with an idea of how much I wanted to charge, and he was basically like, no, talking me down, saying like, we'll do a lot more people, this is something extra that they're coming for, and you just want to have people in and out. And that was another thing that I said, okay, well, fine. I kind of said no a couple of times, but then I gave into it, that whole non-resistance. I said, okay, fine, but I can't be there for many hours either because it's using my energy, or I'm channeling it, whatever the case is. I mean,
right.
It's a harsh environment too. So I was thinking about the money thing too. I was like, well, it's not really going to be like, I don't want to talk myself out of it.
Well, let's say this. You're really doing a lot of future thoughts, future what's happening, having a lot of expectations, what's going to happen, the money, what I really want you to do, I'm just going to give you different perspectives. Number one, yes, you can ask him how does he plan to promote it? But let me say this, and this is what I know. Whenever you add someone else in your specific formula for happiness, whenever you add anybody else in your formula, now it's this restaurant guy, it's going to be an inevitable subtracting from happiness unless they're me. Okay, let me just be honest. Unless they're connected. In other words, who's going to promote it? It's going to, you can ask him, but I say you promote it. You do it. You promote it. You do whatever you have to do. You set the prices that you are comfortable with. In other words, it sounds like you're giving and taking and bending and not really going with how you're feeling. Am I right?
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking I've been communicating with him. I met him in person. I've been communicating a little bit with him through text. And now I'm thinking maybe I need to give him a call and say I was thinking about it and it needs to go back up to this price. It needs to be, like he was saying $20, which is very low. I'm going to have to say, no, it has to be $30 if they're going to want to meet with me.
Right. You know what? Why don't you have a face-to-face with him? And you know what? But before you do that, why don't you write down all the things that you want? And you know what? This is about setting. This is really, this is just another way. The universe is trying to teach you something. The universe is trying to teach you what? If you have a feeling, if you have a really gut feeling, and you have a value of what you think your time is worth or your readings are worth, honey, stick with it. Stick with it.
Well, I agree with that. That's where, I originally, because it's 15-minute readings, and I charge a lot more for my readings for an hour, but I figured this is a promotional thing, whatever. So originally I was thinking, okay, well, $35 or even $40 for 15 minutes. But I was like, okay, maybe he said, and I said, okay, maybe this is me not going with the flow, that type of thing. So I said, fine, maybe I'll give in to him. But I was still feeling uncomfortable about the 20. But I said, let me just, let's stop trying to control. This is something new, opportunity today. So it's hard to decide, I think, is this a boundary thing for me, which I definitely came up of no, this is how much I charge and that's it. Don't get taken advantage of, or should I go with the flow? This is what I'm going to say. Number one, This is I said it earlier about the whole hospital thing. This is you're taking all this stuff way too seriously. You're not having any fun. Right.
This whole setup is.
It was, yeah.
What?
It was. When I first worked out the deal, I was like, this is great. And then it sunk in over at night, and I was like, oh, what about this? What about this? It got heavy.
Well, let me share something. Okay, yeah, and it sounds like it's really heavy right now. And let me say that there's a couple of things. Number one, whatever you set up, you're not signing any kind of contract to do this, for the rest of your life, are you?
No.
So let's just say this trial. Let's just say it's a trial. It's a trial. And you can say a trial for a month. You could say a trial for 3 months. You could say a trial for however long it feels good to you. You're taking it way too seriously, number one. Number two, these expectations and these thoughts. So let me say something to you about these. Let me share with me. One of the things that I used to do years and years ago was when a lot of great things happen. You said something earlier about, this is a great idea. I got really excited about it, and I'm flying. I'm on cloud 9, and then when it sunk in, now I'm like, oh God, now what? One of the things that was a pattern of mine, I don't know if it's a pattern of yours, one of the things is a pattern is when I started really feeling good about something or things were like locking in and everything was happening like click, 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 and what a great, I always found a way to feel bad about it. Always.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel what I'm saying? It's like I'm feeling too good. Now I got to feel bad about something.
Well, I think I just started feeling bad about it when
So that doesn't click with you? That doesn't click with you?
No, I think that the thing was it was just about the logistics of the event and how it's going to run, and I don't want to go down if I am going to be wasting my time. I seem to have a big thing about wasting my time, even though I have a lot of free time. Okay.
So you know what? Now we're getting, now, and it's never what it looks like. It's never what it looks like. This thing about wasting time, that's a really big issue. It's a really big issue. Because let me say something, my dear Jessica, there's no such thing as wasting time. No such thing. That is a total crock. That is an illusion. That is something that we learned, I'm wasting time, I'm not doing anything. There is no such thing as wasting time. Do you feel me on that?
Right, okay. Well,
that's a real big one. Trust me, that's a real big one. There is no such thing as wasting time. Because number one, you know that we're infinite. You know that we're energy. We never die. Do you know how long it took for this world the Earth to form? Billions, billions, and billions and billions of years. Billions. And was that a waste of time? You know what I'm saying? This concept, this waste of time is all man-made. I mean, that's huge for you.
I think it's I think I'm going to have a conversation with him on like Monday or Tuesday.
Okay.
See how it's going. And I will ask him if he started promoting it, because I already went down there to meet with him, so I don't really want to go down there again because we're supposed to do it this weekend.
Okay.
And I think I'll see, I'll give him a call and see if he started promoting it, how that's going.
Okay, but whatever he says about promoting or not promoting, are you going to be affected by it?
Well, I think that I would just take it into account. I mean, I think I would, I don't know. I mean, my one thought is that if he doesn't promote it during the week, then is there really a point for me to go down there? That's not good thinking. My other thought is just to be prepared when I go down there, then over the weekend, that I'll just have in my mind, like maybe I'll come down with a sign, maybe I'll just do the preparations that I normally would do. I just thought that I should try to do things a different way rather than, I don't know, that's what I was confused about, whether to be in control or not control. I mean, and I don't think it's one or the other. I think it's just that let him do things the way he wants.
I say definitely you need to promote it. You need to promote it yourself. And of course he's going to promote it. I mean, ask him too, but there's so many things. You got expectations, a lot of expectations. You have this thing about wasting time. And let me say this: I'm starting a class in January on happiness. It's called The Importance of Happiness. And here I am thinking it's always a problem thinking that, I'm going to have 30 attendees or 20 attendees, and what if no one shows up? I've taught aerobics for almost 33 years, and sometimes there's only one person in my class. And it used to bother the hell out of me. But when you really get into flowing, it doesn't matter if there's one person, because it's really not about this reading, this new thing that you're going through. It's about the lessons that you quite frankly need to learn. Expectations. You're never wasting time. You have attachments to outcomes. Attachment to outcomes. Any attachments subtract from happiness. Any attachments. Can you go in there and just flow with it? Nobody promotes it. You're there. Nobody shows up. It's a big bust. You go downstairs. Is there anybody wants a reading? No. And you're still going to be happy about it?
Well, that'll be all. I'm going to practice that this weekend.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing, sweetie. That's the thing. The universe wants you to practice this. The universe wants you to practice not having expectations. The universe wants you to practice not getting attached to an outcome. The universe wants you to practice all of it. Isn't that fun?
Right. Well, I think that I'll leave the price what I set with him. Either it'll be a trial for this weekend and then I'll change it, or I'll just leave it and just have the I don't know. Again, with
Let me say this. Because you're all over the place, and what happens is when you're all over the place, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. You are going with the flow, and you know what? You are practicing all of it all the time. I could feel you're practicing all of it, and that's all it is. It's just practicing, and because there is going to be a time when you're going to look back and say, "Oh, Jesus, I remember when then I was so bothered if nobody showed up. Oh, it would ruin my day. That used to be, back in 2014. Right?
Oh, it's been going on for many years. I mean, I'm ready to master it now. Like, this has been going on for many years. Whether people will show you, like you're talking about with the class people showing up or not, this has been going on for a long time.
Okay. So now I'm getting more chills because now you just talked about what the truth is, and that is what it is. The universe wants you to practice a new way of being, a new way of living, new perspectives. And let me tell you something, you're still serious, lighten up and start having, really start smiling. When you talk, especially if nobody's looking, just like I'm talking right now to you, okay, now I'm putting on a smile when I'm talking to you. I mean, it sounds crazy. Yeah, put on a smile. Put on a smile when you're talking. I mean, that's all the universe wants you to do is practice a new way of living. You know why? Because they want you happier, honey. They want you happier.
I agree. All right, thank you. I don't want to keep you. I know your show's over.
Well, you know what? There's one more caller, and I'm going to go to my caller, but you're not keeping me. Listen, I'm going with the flow. I don't have any I'm going with the flow. Flow. Sometimes people call me, Jessica, and sometimes nobody calls me. Sometimes people come in the chat room and they listen to what I'm saying and they log out in like a minute. I mean, are you kidding me? Can I let any of that affect my vibration? Hell to the no. Hell to the now. I love you.
Well, I mean, I understand. I mean, it definitely is about like the easier doing life in a different way. I was aware of that. That's why I was like, I want to call today.
Yeah.
But I think that what sometimes causes confusion for me when I'm thinking about the situation is about that whole money thing of like, was I not stating my boundary and standing up to this quote,
that wasn't what it
powerful
is.
man? Because I do have issues with that too.
That
asserting myself.
Yeah, no, that wasn't what it is. It's not what it looks like. It's not what it feels like. And anytime, listen, you can always change it. This world is about changing. Nothing is set in stone. And what I'm thinking is start just to get it off and see what happens. See what happens. Give yourself a month. Give yourself, don't give yourself just a week. Give yourself a month. I mean, what else are you doing? And wasting time?
Exactly.
You're never wasting time. Come on now. The universe wants you to get over this wasting time. They want you to get over this whole seriousness stuff. And this controlling thing, lighten up. And you know what? You're doing too much thinking. You're really doing too much thinking. And no feeling.
Yeah.
This thinking never works. Why don't you feel your way through this? Feel your way through it and not think through it.
Right. I agree. Okay. Thank you for the talk.
Yay, call me again. Oh my God, I love your calls because you're just everyday, and I'm so everyday too. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
I love that. Now we're going to my last caller, area code 850. What is your first name? Hi, you're live on Reality Spirituality.
Hello, my name is Sheila.
Hi, Sheila. What's going on with you, my dear?
I was wondering if I could connect with my grandmother or mother.
Okay. So you're wanting me to connect with somebody that has passed on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me say this. That's not one of the things that I do, but I want to share something with you. I want to share something because I have a father that died in 2008, and I have a grandmother that died. I actually have two grandmothers that died. But especially let me do my father because my father was, I was just a great energy. And let me share this. You can connect to anyone you want on your own.
Okay.
All you need is some quiet time and the intention. And quite frankly, before you even get into the quiet time and the intention, you just say, throw it out there. What's the first name of the grandmother?
Estella.
Yeah, you don't have to give me whatever name you want to use. Estella, I want to talk to you later. I want to talk to you later. I want to connect with you later. Whatever. You throw the names out. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. I want to connect with you. Throw that out during the day.
Okay.
And then either in the evening or actually it's even better in the morning, early before the sun comes up.
Okay.
You can go outside, get some, if you have a place to sit outside, and you just say, okay, connect, and you'll be able to feel whoever you want to connect with. That's a promise.
Okay.
You feel that?
Yes.
Yeah. So you really never need anybody else to connect with energy, to connect with your loved ones, to connect with the universe, to connect with the energy that creates worlds. You really don't. You can do it yourself. However, there's a lot of very gifted people that can do it really quickly, zip, 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 which is good. But I just want to let you know you can do the same.
Okay.
So what are you going to do? Tell me. What are you going to do?
I'm going to do what you suggested in the morning.
And remember, the day before, just have the intention. I would like to speak to you. I would like to connect with you. I would like to feel you. I want to, feel your presence. And then the next morning you wake up early and you sit there. Now, if there's nobody there, because you'll be able to feel it. Trust me, when you start crying, you'll be able to feel it. If there's nobody there for whatever reason, who knows, maybe they're busy. You do it again the next day, you do it again, and I promise you within a week, even less, there's probably going to be less, that you will be able to feel whoever you want to feel, and you will be able to have a conversation with them. Trust me, I do it all the time.
All righty.
Call me back.
Okay.
Thank you so much for waiting on hold, too. Thank you. What a great show. This Reality Spirituality, this show just brings me so much. So much. I really appreciate all my listeners. I appreciate the people that call in and share and ask the questions that everybody wants answers to. And it's really about you, my dear listener. It's about you. It's about your journey. As Abraham says, you cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. It's about you and your journey and your connection with the universe. I'm just here to offer different perspectives. I'm here to let you know how powerful you really are, how powerful you really are. You are a physical extension of the universe. You, my dear audience, you are the physical extension of the universe. You're always evolving. You're always changing. You're always growing. Love is patient and love is kind. Be patient and be kind to yourself. Be your own best friend. You cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. You can find me on You can find me on my website, RebeccaNorrington.com. That's RebeccaNorrington.com. Follow me on Twitter at RLNorrington. And if you've enjoyed the show, go to Facebook and like Reality Spirituality. Thank you in advance. Until next week, until next Saturday, until next Sunday. And shout out to Blair. Thank you so much for emailing me personally and asking me, where the hell have you gone? Well, I'm back. She's back. Reality Spirituality is heard every Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m. here for you to answer your questions, to help you with different perspectives, new perspectives. You've been listening to Reality Spirituality. Talk to you all next week. Have a great week.
Yeah. Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Reality Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this.